Hi, this is Sandy. Welcome back. As you know, I always suggest a bit of physical movement before meditating. Almost always, this entails movement focused on part, if not all, of the spine. Today, before we begin our meditation, I wanted to give you a bit more of the background behind this approach. I am what is called a Kriya member of a yogic spiritual organization called Self Realization Fellowship, or SRF. This is the group founded by Paramahansa Yogananda, perhaps known to some of you as the author of Autobiography of a Yogi. I first became acquainted with SRF during one of my then semi-annual visits to Encinitas, California. There, I would attend yoga classes that at the time I found to be very helpful for my first years of yoga practice. One of the teachers told me about the nearby meditation gardens where Paramahansa Yogananda lived and taught. My first moments in those gardens immediately touched something deep within me, and that was that, the conscious beginning of my spiritual path. I would go on to study the SRF lessons, the first of which focus on the presence of electricity in the body and how it can be directed to achieve higher consciousness. The primary way to harness and guide the currents, according to Paramahansa's translation of ancient yoga techniques, is to activate the spine and its energies, called the life force. The aim is to unite that life force energy with what he called cosmic energy. This is done through a variety of breathing and meditation techniques. For any of you who are familiar with Kundalini Yoga, this will ring a bell. In that tradition, Kundalini energy is what SRF calls life force. Kundalini yogis consider spinal movement equally important, as it is the means by which one raises the Kundalini, circulating that energy from root to crown. And certainly in the traditional Chinese practice of Qigong, a supple spine is vital for not only physical health, but it is the crux of a Qigong energy meditation, wherein one visualizes a never-ending looping of qi, that life force or prana, up and down the spine, a continual loop, charging all the qi points along the spine. So here is where I would like to say that I understand how such concepts and terminology can sound outlandish when first introduced. Energy vortexes and hidden portals and cosmic currents, all at work in our utilitarian human bodies, can sound like science fiction or fantasy fiction. But as often is the case, when science and spiritual philosophies face off, one eventually begins to recognize the primary commonality in the two disciplines. That is, that both science and spiritual pursuits seek answers with regard to life and living, if not death and dying. Each identifies aspects and concepts and structures that create, energize, sustain, and transform. In science, neurology explains how we think and feel by referencing the spine and brain lobes and cerebrospinal fluid, plus glands and neurons and receptors. In yoga, one works with the sushumna and nadis, plus kundalini, or life force energy, as well as the chakras, one of which is the third eye. Science says spinal cord. Yogis say sushumna. Science says cerebrospinal fluid. Yoga says prana, or life force. Science refers to the pineal gland. I would say third eye. The point is that whether you consider yourself science oriented or tending toward the mystical, there is something to be learned from that which you may think of as the other side. When you open yourself to that consideration and contemplation, you likely will find that the main difference between science and spiritual philosophy or religion is a matter of language and paradigm. With that understanding, one begins to see how the two disciplines are not mutually exclusive. Rather, they can inform and thus enhance each other's development. So, with all of that said, let's move the spine. So, if you are not already, come into your preferred seated position for meditation. With your hands on your knees, inhale to arch the spine, pressing the chest and the belly forward, drawing the shoulders back. Exhale to round the back, drawing the belly in, letting the head hang. Inhale to arch, looking slightly upward. Exhale to round as deeply as you can. Continue with the spinal flexion and extension. Really what you have here is cat-cow, which you know from being on all fours, but you have simply transposed it into a seated position. So this is not only a wonderful way to release muscular tension, but now you know you are stimulating the primary conduit through which you will meditate. Inhale to arch that spine, exhale to round. Still inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Okay, after about a minute of that, gently bring your torso forward and down over your legs for an easy forward bend. Your hands are on the floor in front of you. Then walk your hands as far to the right as you can, aiming to bring your body over the right leg. Be here for a few breaths, helping to open the left side of the body. And then walk the hands all the way through center, all the way over to the left, and let yourself bend over that left leg for a few deep breaths, in and out through the nose. Make any adjustments that you need to let the right side body release and open. Okay, now bring yourself back to center and up to your neutral sit again. Here, place the hands on the shoulders, fingers in front, thumbs behind. Keep the elbows up and out to either side, in line with the shoulders. Inhale to twist to the left, exhale to twist right. Go back and forth, starting as slowly as you need to, and then picking up the pace as you feel ready. Inhale left, exhale right. Keep those elbows up. Let the head turn with the rest of the twist. Breathing in to the left, out to the right, in through the nose, out through the nose, twisting to the left and the right. Okay, again, after about 1 minute, pause. Change your hand position so that now all fingertips rest atop the shoulders, just like a little spider perched up there. Inhale to draw the elbows down behind you as if trying to touch them together behind your back. Exhale to bow the head and bring the elbows up as high as you can. Inhale, look up as the elbows move down and behind. Exhale to bend the head down as the elbows rise up. Inhale, elbows down, head looks up. Exhale, elbows up as the head looks down. With each exhale, as the elbows rise up, try to touch the backs of the wrists together behind the head. This requires great mobility in the shoulder joint, so if it's not happening, think of it as something to work toward. Inhale, elbows down, head up. Exhale, elbows up, head down, trying to join the backs of the wrists. Continue on with this unusual movement. This is a potent way to wake up the cervical spine, thus helping us move ever closer to working with the mind. And again, after about 1 minute, pause. Let your hands rest on the knees or the thighs and find your way back to quiet, steady breathing. Breathing again in and out through the nose. Eyes are closed. Body and mind beginning to settle. Okay, now bring your hands into your lap, palms up. Touch the thumb tips to their respective pinky fingertips and touch the tips of the ring fingers together. Let the other 2 fingers just rest at ease. This mudra does 2 things. The pinky finger portion of the mudra awakens intuitive ability, that which interprets and understands divine universal messages. The ring fingers help to activate the entire process, meditation, receiving of wisdom, and the deepening of that meaning within. As you sit with the mudra, breathing softly, yet fully and steadily, turn your closed eyes up to gaze at the third eye, that deep-seated point at the bridge of the nose, between the brows. This is your 6th chakra or energy center, the very apex of the spine. Also called the spiritual eye, this is the metaphysical entry point for the pineal gland. When we focus on the third eye point, we connect to the pineal gland, where higher consciousness is said to originate. All you need to do is sit with this understanding. Breathe with the mudras and focus your closed eyes up and in to the third eye. Breathing in and out through your nose. Mudras doing their work. Closed eye gaze to the third eye. Activating your higher consciousness. This is not a time to anticipate or expect specific results. Rather, meditating in this way awakens and trains your mind to receive and allow. Your only role is to sit, breathe, and allow the process. Things will unfold differently for each of us. And each of us need and hope for different things. Your meditation is exactly that, yours and yours alone. Inhabit it fully, simply by allowing what will be to be. Continue with this here in your space as long as you like. As always, thank you for meditating with me. Until next time.